Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. Anywhere you are in the world, we had a wonderful Sabbath. We're doing a nighttime devotion from the devotional Maranatha. The title today, Overcoming Bad Habits. The scripture reading comes from 1 Timothy 5:22. Keep thyself pure. To know what constitutes purity of mind, of soul, of body is an important part of education. When the character is lacking in purity, when sin has become a part of the character, it has a bewitching power that is equal to the intoxicating glass of liquor. The power of self control and reason is overborne by practices that defile the whole being. And if these sinful practices are continued, the brain is enfeebled and diseased and loses its balance. Such ones are a curse to themselves and to all who have any connection with them. Bad habits are more easily formed than good habits, and the bad habits are given up with more difficulty. The natural depravity of the heart accounts for this well known fact, for it takes far less labor to demoralize the youth, to corrupt their ideas of moral and religious character, than to engraft upon their character the enduring, pure, and uncorrupted habits of righteousness and truth. Self-indulgence, love of pleasure, enmity, pride, self-esteem, envy, jealousy will grow spontaneously without example and teaching. In our present fallen state, all that is needed is to give up the mind and character to its natural tendencies. In this natural world, give up a field to itself and you will see it coveted with briers and thorns. But if it yields precious grain or beautiful flowers, care and unremitting labor must be applied. Now we present before you the necessity of constant resistance to evil. All heaven is interested in men and women whom God has valued so much as to give his beloved Son to die to redeem them. No other creature that God has made is capable of such improvement, such refinement, such nobility as a man. Then, when men become blunted by their own debasing passions, sunken in vice, what a specimen for God to look upon. Man cannot conceive what he may be and what he may become. Through the grace of Christ, he is capable of constant mental progress. Let the light of truth shine into his mind, and the love of God be shed abroad in his heart, and he may, through the grace Christ has died to impart to him, be a man of power, a child of earth, but an heir of immortality. The title again, Overcoming Bad Habits. And this is all about your character, your strength, mentally and physically, but more so spiritually. When you're lacking purity, sin is a large part of your character. And as is said, the more bad habits you have, the easier they grow. And they are the hardest to overcome because naturally we are susceptible to anything bad. And then especially in today's day, rather than going back, I don't know, just 30 years, before mobile phones, before tablets, before, I don't know, even going back 50 years before TVs, or 60 years, I should say. Media, TV, radio, music, and then phones, computers, tablets, all of these, although they can be very, very good used the right way, most of the time they're well, I'm not going to say they're misused. Well, yeah, they're misused, but we are fed by them with the information. And it's not always consciously, subconsciously. The adverts, the pop-ups, all kinds of things that come through. And then we end up watching things that are not good for us at all, but it's entertaining. Some of it can be good information, but most of it pushes us to entertainment. Entertainment. Our minds, our bodies are tainted, smudged, erred. And we become a curse to ourselves because we are absorbing everything that is bad for us. And a lot of the time, unknowingly. So the hardest thing is to turn that around. And this is why we do have to look to Jesus, because by looking to him and focusing on him more than everything outside of him, if we focus on him more, we do get that strength to overcome, to turn our backs on. I'm not going to say ignore, because we can't just ignore something. We have to consciously do something. Turn our backs on it, and we have to consciously walk away from it. Well, maybe ignore, but we have to be very conscious of what we're thinking, how we're seeing, how we're hearing. By beholding, we become changed. And that is exactly what that means. Whatever we focus our senses on is beholding. And whatever we behold in our minds and our bodies, we are become changed. And to change that back is to change a habit. And this is where neuroplasticity comes in. What you put in here grows. The more you put it in, the more you grow. It grows. And then we have to change that. And the bad things that are big in here, we have to shrink and think about them less. And that includes everything that's not good for us. We have to focus on the necessity of constant resistance to evil. Resistance to evil is resistance to everything we know which is not good for us. And that's a whole lot of education we need for ourselves that the world doesn't teach us. Jesus died for us so that we might have that opportunity to die to self for him.